Hi everyone. I just finished reading this book called Cerita-cerita Jakarta. So this book is actually first published in the UK. This is a collection of short stories about Jakarta. So I think the book was first published in the UK as a collection of short stories written by Indonesian writers, and then it's I think it's originally written in Indonesian and then it's translated to English, and it was first published in the UK as a part of a series of, let's see, I think it's a part of a series called A City in Short Fiction, I guess. So, because other than the Book of Jakarta, I know that there's like the Book of Gaza, the Book of, yeah, some other cities in the world. And it's also interesting. It's interesting for me because uh, this it was first published in English, and then now it's available in its original language, Indonesian. So yeah, and it made me think like how would these stories be translated into English? Because when I was reading this book is in Indonesian, and the language is interesting for me because so some of the stories are written in Indonesian, of course, obviously, but some of the dialogues are in the local language, which is Betawi dialect in Indonesian. I'm just curious, how will that be conveyed in the English language? And also, yeah, about the translation. And also, one other thing that interests me is also about the use of like everyday language, because some of the stories are written really well, and I really like the language. I really like the first story is called, this is really interesting, and also I don't know how it's translated into English, because the title of the first short story here is B217AN. So obviously that's the license plate in Jakarta, which is always starts with a B. And however, if you read it in Indonesian, it becomes B2 satu tujuan. So which means the two of us or the two of them with one direction, with one goal. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? So the title. And I like it because the language, the description, the passages are written in like formal Indonesian language, like a bit poetic, and also it's very proper. But the dialogues are in like everyday conversational language. So yeah, I think that's very interesting for me to read, because writing dialogue is actually very difficult because it can become very cheesy if you write it in a very proper language. It doesn't sound natural. But the first story is written the dialogues are written very, very well. So it doesn't sound cheesy at all. It sounds natural. But however, some of the other dialogues in this book sounds like as if the characters are just reading, because some of the characters, I don't think the characters actually are capable of saying that. Yeah, maybe this sounds a bit classist of me, but because some of the characters, I don't think they have the actual educational background to be able to say that. So I think some of the characters in the other story are just like a mouthpiece of the writer. So this is what the writer is going to say, and then they created these characters. This is the characters, and then the characters are saying what the author wants to say. So instead of like what the characters want to say. Do you get what I mean? And another thing that I find, yeah, it's very interesting because it tells the stories about Jakarta, and if you're familiar with Jakarta, you'll be able to recognize some of the places, and also the stories about Jakarta's past and also the present, but also it makes some like speculation about the future, like what if Jakarta is like drowned and what will happen then, or yeah, it's kind of like uh, it's kind of funny, and some of the stories are funny, and some of the stories are tragic. Some of the stories are, uh, I would say, some of the stories doesn't give any conclusion because it's just like it ends abruptly, and the stories also ends in a cliffhanger, so it's open to interpretation. But I kind of love that because the story becomes open to interpretation, and also you're free to imagine how the story is gonna end. And I have like a few favorite here. So my favorite is actually, let me check. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 short stories, and my favorite is B217, so B217AN, written by Ratri Ninditya. And yeah, I think I have a lot of favorites actually. Anak-anak dewasa, which is translated into grown-up kids, I guess. Yeah, grown-up kids. So on the back of the books, you can see like the history of publication. So yeah, I'm actually interested to read like how yeah, I'm interested to know like how these stories are translated into English. And so I guess, so have you read the book? So did you like it? And also I want to also know, if you have read this, which one is your favorite? And I think maybe, oh yeah, there are some favorite passages I like. So on the B217AN, so my favorite passage is, uh, maybe it's can be translated loosely as like, oh, I feel most myself when I'm with this person. So that's my favorite part of the book, when this person mentioned, oh, I feel that I'm the most myself, I love myself the most, I like myself the most when I'm with this person, but that version of me is no longer possible, it's no longer available. Yeah. And yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite. So leave a comment below. So if you wanna, yeah, just tell me like if you have read the book. So which short story is your favorite, and also if you read the English version, maybe can you please tell me like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm actually rambling. So I guess that's all for today. So thank you for watching. See you next time.